If you think this series is helpful, please like and subscribe to let me know. So in the previous video I explained the loadout and angling. If you haven't seen the first one yet, then don't watch this, because the series is a build-up and gets more advanced the further we go. So now that you know and hopefully master angling, we can go further. Angling helps in open fields, but your weak spots like the lower plate and hedge are still exposed. And here comes the side scraping into place. You hide your weak spots using hardcover and only exposing your very angled side. The tanks that are most known to be side scrapers are heavies, especially German heavies. Do not try to side scrape in a light tank or in a lightly armored medium, because everyone and their grandmother will penetrate you. So while side scraping, you only expose your turret and gun when you are reloaded. Wait for the enemy to shoot and preferably bounce before you go back and expose your turret to fire. I will get two guys to show you how to apply this strategy in game. I also want to point out that if one of them looks bad, it's because I asked them to make mistakes so I can point them out for you. In the left corner you can see the E100's perspective, and in the right corner you can see the mouse's perspective. So an effective way to fight against good side scrapers is to splash them with high explosive if you have a big alpha gun like the E100 has. In a regular battle you have teammates and other enemies which influence the situation, so you won't always have to do that. Here you can see the E100 makes a mistake by exposing the front of his turret while the enemy was reloaded. So for that reason it's handy to know the reload time of all tanks in the game. As you can see, the mouse does not have a very big gun, so high explosive does very low damage and isn't that effective. There you can see the E100 over angles his turret, which means the mouse could pan it, and this is one of the mistakes that will cause the E100 to lose the battle at the end. Here the mouse makes a vital error because he reverses without angling his turret, knowing that the E100 was reloaded. But this could also have been a strategy because he has way more hit points left, so he wants to trade some hit points. Now this wasn't a very good trade because he bounced the turret because he wasn't going out fast enough. Now here the 100 reverses a little bit too far again, which means the mouse could shoot him again. Now both did a very good job and never exposed their lower plate and only their turrets. So both did a good job on that, just the 100 made a little bit more mistakes because I asked both to make mistakes, but the E100 just made a few more. Because if they would both play very well, then no one would shoot each other and keep bouncing and it would just never end. So the E100 took the hits and ends up losing. Here the 100 reverses a little bit too far. I don't think that it's very clear that he overexposes it, but he ends up losing, and that was the example. So if you aren't familiar with this yet, it might look hard to do, but it's really not. Just practice it while playing, but don't force it and only do it when necessary. A good player can master any playstyle, but as a beginner it might be better if you could learn in the style you do best in. If you don't like going frontline and rather go spotting or going fast, then you should play light tanks. But if you want a little bit more armor but still go fast, then play a medium. If you want to go close range and bounce stuff while side scraping or other strats that will be explained later, then you should play heavy tanks. And if you like the big guns with a lot of damage per shot and mid or long range, then go for a tank destroyer. Now you also have well armored tank destroyers or TDs, which you can also play frontline in, like the T124 with a turret or the Object 263, or also known as a YOLO wagon. If you want more info on that, check out this dude's video. He's an amazing player and makes very good videos. The link to his video is in the description. So if it turns out that you prefer a fast tank, then learning side scraping might be a waste of time, but don't be afraid to try other types because you will have to learn them eventually as you progress in the game.